guys, hello and welcome back. This is Frosthair, and we are playing some Roger Gang again today. We beat all these levels. We beat this level over here. There's nothing else to do down there, so we're gonna go up. We beat every level so far. Let's see, the Haunted Path by Big Dutch. Big Deutsch. Okay, cool background. Okay, so far so cool, so cool. Oh shit, okay, so... Interesting... bad. Can I hit those, or do I have to toss it? The Scarecrow is death. Okay, I'll be like right here. This is the ideal situation. I keep jumping instead of throwing up. Looks like I can get it. I don't know if I actually need... I assume I need the shell again, but we'll see. Yeah, you throw it up there. Okay. It's not bad. Oh, dude, we had it. Got some Gatorade. We also got some rain, total body fuel. White gummy bear, one of my favorites. Boom, 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 boom. It's a regrab. There's just so much going on. Oof. Big oof, actually. You need to let go right there. Do small bounces. Ah! I regrabbed just a second too early. Too early there, I think. You really gotta like... Time I waited too long. I was like, you really gotta wait on that bottom platform, but I mean, I guess it just depends on... And then a slide. Man, it's tough. I hope everyone's doing okay today. It's a Tuesday night. We're doing some Mario, extra Mario, because I spent most of Mario Monday beating... Oh, beating Scarlet Nexus yesterday. So we're just doing Mario tonight. We got Roger Gang that we're gonna work through. If okay. So you gotta be good with the first jump, actually. Yo, what's going on, Type 2 Mount? How you doing? Fuck. Dude, that jump right there is just killer. I think I scratched my foot too hard. Too early. Yo, I'm pumped for this. I'm like all in on Mario right now. No. I need that momentum, man. I really want to work on my ROM hack. Maybe I will spend some time on Thursday working my ROM hack. I'm off from work on Thursday. The thing is, like, I enjoy playing games and everything. And so, when I'm working on my ROM hack, I'm obviously spending free time doing something that's not playing games. And, like, that makes me feel like I'm, like, not using my time wisely. So I really have to be in the mood to work on my ROM hack, or I have to be multitasking, which is not good for my ROM hack, and also not good for whatever else I'm doing. So, oh fuck. I'm kind of figuring out, like, I don't know, tomorrow is going to be a very interesting day for me, because, like, today I had a lot of stuff to do and I got most of it done, but since I'm off on Thursday, there's a good chance that I have a lot of stuff tomorrow that I need to get done before I am out on Thursday. So it's just kind of like one of those things. It's like, ugh, you know, ugh. But today I did have good news. I installed a project that, like, so I work on 2 products. I mainly work on 2 products. Oh, that was interesting. I mainly work on 2 products, and I'm considered the expert in one of the for part of what we do. I'm considered the expert for, like, that whole thing, like, in our whole company. And then for the other one, like, I'm just like a peon. Like, I don't know, like, I barely know anything about it. It's not that I barely know anything about it, I'm just, like, not the expert at it. And so today, the expert for that one, I usually work pretty closely with him on stuff, but he's been, he was out of the office and just unable to help for various reasons. So I had to do a project on the product that I'm not as comfortable with, and it was like a customization project. That seems long. I feel like the checkpoint needs to be right after that. If it's not right there, you know, I didn't see it yet, but I feel like there needs to be a checkpoint right there. But anyways, it was a customization project, and like those are always difficult because you gotta like add stuff that's new or like figure out what you're doing. It's just like it's a fucking mess. Typically, very hard usually. Even like when they're easy, they're pretty hard. Especially if you're like me and you like kind of understand what you're doing, but not like fully all the time. So anyways, I couldn't ask my coworker for help because he's out. So I had to do it all on my own, and it worked. It worked. There were no issues. No, well, they had one issue, but it wasn't part of my project. It was an issue of something else. But I did help them fix that issue, so it's like 2 double positives. And like, I don't know, I like that. You know, I was telling my wife the other day, like, that, you know, even if, like I talk to her sometimes, and, like, she doesn't know anything about computers, or, like, anything about what I do, really. She's very, like, hands-off in that respect. I mean, which is fine. But then, like, sometimes when I want to brag about shit like that, like, it's hard because, like, I know she doesn't know anything about my work and that kind of stuff. She doesn't have, like, any kind of, like, it's like if you told someone who has never played Mario before, or who like doesn't know anything about Kaizo, that you did a double shell jump. Like you just won't get it. They wouldn't understand it. They wouldn't have appreciation for it. And like you guys don't know anything about my work and stuff, but like I can kind of like in the back of my head be like, oh well, maybe they do. Maybe they do understand what's going on, you know? And so, like, I don't know, I was telling her that, like, being able to just kind of like a therapist, like, you'd go see a therapist. We were talking about therapy, because she's going to school for counseling. And so, we were talking about therapy, and I'm just like re-grabbing a little too early right there. Anyway, we're talking about therapy, and the few times I went to a therapist, my wife thinks that he wasn't a very good therapist. I also kind of agree with that, just like in retrospect. But he was also one of those therapists that like therapists just sit there and they listen to you. You know, they ask you questions every once in a while, but you're doing all the talking. And so it's like, I was telling you, it's like playing games on Twitch and everything, sometimes it is therapeutic, because like I can talk about the things that like I need to talk about. You know, I cut out some, you know, specific, fuck, every time it's going like half a second too soon there. Probably even like less than that. But I can just talk about random stuff, and you know, if people are here listening, people are here listening. If people aren't here listening, people aren't here listening. But like, I think it's always, I think just being able to have a medium where someone could be listening. And I find myself doing this too, like if I'm in the car and I'm frustrated, like I'll talk to myself in the car. I used to do it a lot on my way home. Like, I'd have like, you know, when you want to tell your boss off, or like, you want to tell that guy at work that's like upsetting you, you just get in the car and you're like, well, Dave, I didn't do this because of this, and why don't you stop being a fucking asshole, blah blah blah, you know, like that kind of stuff. You have this conversation with yourself. So I mean, kind of playing video games online and talking like is almost kind of like the same level of therapy. Fuck. I was like, we're getting this. It's almost the same level of therapy, I think, as. And obviously, it's different. You know, there's 2 viewers in here right now, which, I mean, maybe that number's right, maybe it's wrong. Maybe there's 5 and it hasn't refreshed yet. Maybe there's 0 and it hasn't refreshed yet. Fuck, why do I keep throwing it sideways? So, I mean, like, there is that kind of, like, there is that kind of, like, sense, you know, where, you know, it's just, it is what it is. You know, maybe viewer 2 is listening with no audio because they're, you know, trying to be quiet for one reason or another, or, you know, maybe viewer 3 is only listening with audio because they're trying to go to bed. Oh, it updated this one viewer now. I scared off whoever I was. Scared off viewer 2. You know, like, I watch YouTube at night. 1, because it's free. And 2, because most of the time, I got in the habit of watching old show. I've always been in the habit of having to watch something when I go to bed. And my wife hates having the TV on at night. It keeps her up. She complains about it. It's like one of the things that like we disagreed on for the longest time. And she let me win. She let me win for like the first like 4 years we lived together. 3 years we lived together. 2 years we lived together. I don't know. She let me do it for a while until we had the baby. When she was pregnant, we changed the rules. We stopped watching it in the bedroom, and I figured, oh well, we have to have something else. I did the same thing again. I think you hit the thing, you bounce back down, you bounce over. I was not very consistent at the beginning part of this, but we had, you know. I tapped the button instead of holding it. That was my demise. So, I mean, she let me win for the longest time, right? And it was nice. And then when we figured out we were having the baby, we had, well, if the baby's gonna sleep in here with us, like, we're not sleeping with the TV on, because, like, me as a kid sleeping with the TV in my room is what did this to me. And I would really like to not have my daughter have some of the same, like, negative traits that I have. I feel like that's a negative trait. It's having to sleep with the TV on. It's not a good sleeping habit. You don't sleep well just in general, like all that stuff. So but like, yeah, well, so I got a arm that clamped on to, what's up, Sebastian? I got like a little arm stand thing that clamped onto the edge of the night table that held my iPad. And so my iPad was like a mini TV. It was a compromise. Just got home a few minutes ago. You work tonight, or are you out doing fun stuff? We got an arm. I got an arm. Well, that was great until we had some issues with the end table, not related to the arm, but had some issues related to the end table. Ah, cool. Yeah, we had some issues with the end table. Fuck, every time, man. I'm not related to it. It was just an old end table. So we ended up getting matching end tables. Maybe it wasn't an issue with my end table. Maybe it was my wife's end table. Whatever. Bedside table. We ended up getting matching ones from IKEA. And my arm no longer worked. The arm stand no longer worked. Because there wasn't a spot to attach it, like where it would be visible. Like the iPad would be visible to me. And so it was just problematic. And then, like, I think we got a new bed at the same time, so like it was just like a mess. So that was a bummer. So what I ended up doing is I got headphones for my iPad. Well, I got the this whole time I've been using nighttime headphones, right? So nighttime headphones. And nighttime headphones and the iPad on a stand. Stand didn't work anymore, so I just was like, okay, well, I'm just gonna hold the iPad. It's gonna keep it next to me and like look at it. And so all of this is to say, I'm telling you a long story here to kind of explain the point, but and I'm also just, we're making content. We tell long stories. I like telling long stories because it gives me something else to focus on. Oh, that's the first time that's happened. Dude, bummer. Anyways, so now my solution is to just hold the iPad next to me on sleep mode, and like I watch it for like 5 minutes, and then I'll put it down. And part of putting it down is making it so that I'm just listening to it, right? So by just listening to it, that becomes problematic, right? Because if I'm watching something that is like a show, generally if you're watching a show or an anime or something like that, it's intended for you to be watching the screen. So I kind of went with like, oh well, I'll watch something on YouTube that doesn't really require me to watch. I can just listen. And so I started watching Critical Role. And what that did for me was that gave me, like, that's a D&D thing, right? So you don't have to be looking at the screen. It's voice actors, so there's a lot of imagination that already goes into it. The only time you really care about the screen is when they're fighting. That was impressive. And even then, it's more of like a situational thing, right? So that was it if I had regrab properly. Close, but no cigar. Oh, almost. You gotta go hard right there, I think. I'm not going hard enough. Went hard, but then I pushed I regrabbed too early. That's dumb. So anyways. I should let go of the shell. Because I'm an idiot. I don't know. So anyways, I started getting into that, and then like my play next, like when I was done with that, eventually started like going to Mario and other creators that I like to watch, and nice. Playing piano? Dude, piano's bomb. Hope you're having a good time. Just in general. Not necessarily just watching me. If you're having a good time watching me, that's cool too, but I hope you're having a good time just in general. I hope everyone has a good time. It's a tough time in our lives, in our country right now. So, you know, I'm always hoping everyone's having a good day. Fuck. But anyways, yeah, so I started like, they started coming out with like videos of people playing stuff. I think it was like Barb was playing like Dark Souls or something. And they kind of like, well, I know this game. I can kind of visualize what's going on. And like, just every once in a while something's confusing to me. Holy fucking shit. I don't even know what to do there. This level is one long ass section. But yeah, so eventually that started happening, and I was like, oh well, I can watch those people play games that I've already seen before, and I'm not really missing too much. by not being able to see it. Then every once in a while I have something that I want to watch, so I'll sit there and watch it for a couple minutes, and then boom, done. Bedtime. Fall asleep. Because when I was younger, like, I used to watch reruns of, like, I watched MASH, I watched reruns, I watched Yu Yu Hakusho like 95 times for some reason. Could never get into anything else. But I could never get into, like, I could never watch, like, certain animes, because, like, if I watched Dragon Ball Z and I fell asleep in the middle of an episode, like, YouTube is something that I can have on during the day, because, like, I can kind of pay attention to it, and it's okay. So I fall asleep in the middle of an episode, and I started over again. I started over while I'm doing the day, and I kind of get the gist of what's going on. If I watch something I want to pay attention to, like Naruto, or Dragon Ball Z, or, you know, a live-action show that I can't think of anything, House, although I watch a lot of House, but I'm just using an example. Like, something I want to pay attention to, so I know what's going on. Like, that is... like, I'm not putting that on again during the day. So unless I spend time trying to, like, go back and rewatch that before I go to bed again, chances are fuck, that jump sucks. It just does. Chances are I'm going to chances are I'm going to end up spending like 2 or 3 nights on the same episode, depending on how tired I am and how much of it I watch each night before I fall asleep, or how much I listen to each night before I fall asleep. And, like, that's just not appealing to me. Fuck. Dude, that jump right there, just like, my brain just doesn't get it. Throw up. There's so much going on with the throwing up. I think that's causing me to, like, causing me to just, like, freak out, you know? What was that? That was some jank shit, man. I don't know. Do we want to get on the high horse tonight? Like, talking about just, like, everything that's going on in the world, you know? I don't know. I don't know, man. I just don't understand. I don't understand people, you know? Yeah, I knew I was gonna make that. I just don't understand people, for real. That was two decent shots in a row, though. Then one of those. It's because like I think in my brain just says like you're not making that jump. Like you don't have the momentum to do it. Didn't hold up. It's like the worst. I don't know. I can get on my high horse, you know. It's just like I don't understand. I just don't understand people, you know. The human mind is like a complex thing that is so. Like I feel like we. I'm going around in circles in my head and I'm not even talking because God, there's just so much wild stuff, you know? Alright, we're gonna open up the thing. We're gonna open up the vault to discuss life with you guys today. So, you know, you get the nature versus nurture debate, right? So, nature versus nurture is like what determines a person's personality? Is it something they're born with, like their genetics, or is it something that is taught to them? You know, is it something that like their parents were bad people, so that's why they're bad people. Like they didn't instill morals in them. I think morality is a big part of nature versus nurture, right? Is like understanding what morality is and understanding, like if you were taught that something is wrong from birth, like let's see, like the LGBTQ plus community, right? Like if your parents are very religious and they grew up in a time where it was really bad, it might be worthwhile to try to do this way. I don't know, because I think I'm letting go of the jump button. That's right there. I'm letting go of the jump button to grab that one, and that's why it's causing an issue. Anyways, now I'm freaking out about it. Anyways, so yeah, if you're always taught like that same-sex couples relationships are evil and they're the work of the devil, then like unless you have someone who is helping you understand that it's not, you know, as you get older, then like you don't know any better. And like family values are part of that, right? So like if your parents are like, you have to do everything by God's book, and you have a really good relationship with your parents, like obviously you're going to appreciate their values more, and you're gonna like live by their morals more. then like if you had a really bad relationship with them, like you may just like be an outcast. Like, you know, you may just decide that they're wrong straight off the bat. You know, like that's like a side note to this whole thing, but the point I'm trying to make is like that, you know, that's I find that aspect of human development to be quite fascinating, because of the implications of that, right? If tomorrow we as a culture, you know, if I decided tomorrow I'm gonna homeschool my daughter and I'm gonna tell her that the color green is not green. I'm gonna teach her that the color green is a made-up word, a shloopy-doop. It's green is now a shloopy-doop, and I don't know why shloopy-doop is the name that came to mind. Oh, that was bizarre, but okay, I'll take it. I don't know what happened. I mean, I guess I won't take it because I died, but if I had gotten past it, I would take it. I hit it twice. You know, and then no one else ever corrected her. You know, we got my whole family in on it, and they didn't teach it in school. They didn't teach colors in school. No one ever corrected her. She would grow up as an adult and not know what green is. She would say it's a schmoopy-doop. And if no one ever corrected her, I got scared that I was too high, so I stopped holding the button. She would never know. It's the same thing with morals, right? If no one ever says, hey, killing things is wrong, and your parents are just like murderers or something, like you're not going to find a problem with that. And that's where like, and part of that is where like the nature comes in, because like some people think that you would have like an innate response that says like, hey, like, bam, what I'm doing is right. But we're not really sure about that, I don't think. I mean, I'm not a psychology person, but I feel like I've heard before that we're not really sure about that, because basically you can't study those things. You can't just take a life and do 20 years worth of research on, you know, on a human being, and like ruin their whole life that way. I mean, you just can't do it, because you wouldn't be able to do it on just a single person. You'd have to do it on multiple people, and that's just not a thing you can do. So you have to study what you have available to you. I think that's, you know, coming back around and talk to morals and how the world is the way the world is. You know, you have generation after generation after generation of Republicans and Democrats that have just been taught for years that, like, you know, the other side is wrong. That, like, our morals are our morals. Oh, I should have grabbed it. And so that's really like strange. And so now you have like that was them. See, I'm getting those like small jumps every once in a while, and that's what I think my brain's going for on there. Do I want to try to kick him left and then just go on the 2 turtles and then deal with the fallout of the shell later? I think that's what I want to do. My fingers are like freaking out. They're not obeying. I can't see how there's much. There either has to not be a checkpoint in this level, or it's just an insanely long level. But I mean, so that's like one thing, right? Is like, gotta hold jump. Can't be scared to hold jump there. I'm getting scared to hold jump there. And it's fucking me. So yeah, we have these 2 sides that have different morals, and you know, everyone thinks they're right. And both sides are hypocritical about it. You know? I like to believe in, you know, that, you know, I register as Democrat, but you know, I believe in some you know, right-wing, some conservative beliefs. We'll say conservative beliefs. You know, yeah, it's not even like that's like a big thing or whatever. It's just, but I mean, you can choose different values, right? Everyone can have different values. You don't have to be aligned with a certain side. I think that's what's most fascinating about the human mind, is that, well, less about the human mind and more about US politics, is that I think a lot of people, because politics has become such an us versus them topic, that many people feel like they can't be in the middle. You can't believe that abortion's wrong and be like that. You know, I believe I'm pro-choice, but I was using an example. You know, they don't believe that, you know, you know, people identify as Republican, but they don't think that they can support, you know, free healthcare or government paid healthcare. I just don't understand that one. That when that happens, I don't understand it. And I think that's kind of like where we're at. That's where as a country right now, is that like we're drawing lines in the sand. And what's fascinating about it is that, like, the last time we had such like discourse in us versus them, it was the Civil War, but it was the South versus the North, right? And the South had a lot of ideas that they wanted. Fuck me, man. If I tossed it just a second too early. Again, I'm worried. I need to get through the thing. I'm worried about not not throwing it on time, and so I'm like not throwing it high enough to hit the switch. So I think I did that once, and that's causing me issues. But yeah, I mean, and so the last time we did this, right, civil discourse between two sides like this, it was the Civil War, and that was at least cleaner in the fact that it was the North versus the South. There were two distinct sides, and they each had their own like land masses. What makes this discourse so, I don't want to use the word interesting because talking about like war and discourse isn't necessarily interesting, but what makes it, it's interesting. I'm just gonna say interesting. What makes it interesting is that there isn't a clear-cut line of North versus South. It could be your next door neighbor. It could be the guy you go to work with. You know, it could be, you know, we have different states that are like majority red, majority blue, but like that's outside of a couple states, like it's pretty close in a lot of states. You know, you have, look at Georgia. Georgia just did, you know, in the election, Georgia was like 51-49. You know, it's fucking wild. So if, you know, there was going to be a civil war, there was going to be a discourse in this country that was going to have, you know, have some sort of ripple effect like that, with conflict and stuff like that. You know, it's hard to see. It's gonna be wild, you know? And what makes it even worse is that whatever breaks the camel's back may not even be a hot button issue, may not even be something that people are arguing over. You know, like it may not be a us versus them debate, you know, like where there's clear sides. But because we are so us versus them in our way of thinking, it'll turn into an us versus them conflict. Like, I bring this up because that vaccinations, I think mandating vaccines is one of those things, right? Mandating vaccines, I feel like there's a very, you know, probably not necessarily small, but, you know, there's a small subset of Democrats who don't want mandated vaccines, and a bigger subset. There's a shell jump off the Rex. That is something else. I don't know how I get to the Rex though. It didn't make any sense. I didn't hang around enough. We've seen the checkpoint though, so that's progress. You know, like, so like if it was vaccines, right? The small subset of people that were Democrats, this level seems like it's really hard. The small subset of people that are Democrats that don't want mandated vaccines are not going to side with the majority. I'm assuming that the... Oh, I see what to do. The small subset of Democrats that don't want mandated vaccines, if that's just Charlie Kirk's, like that's what sparks like a civil war, you know. Those people aren't gonna side with the people that the Republicans that don't want mandated vaccines, because of the us versus them, the split down the side, right? We're not gonna side with them, even though that's what this is over. Because, like, in the end, if the, like, say the Republicans win, the few Democrats, they're not gonna, like, that's not their people, that's not their side. It's not going to be like the vaccinated versus the non-vaccinated, like, parties. Like, it's not going to suddenly shift. And, like, that's the thing that, like, is the most wild. So the Republicans, who are very, like, pro-life. Did I say pro-life? I'm pro-choice. I think I said that right earlier, but I'm not sure, but I want to make that clear. So, the few, like, the people that are pro-life, but do want mandated vaccines, aren't going to side with the Democrats, because the Democrats are typically pro-life. And it just kind of comes down to, like, what the argument is over at. It might be what the argument's over. It depends. I don't know what I'm doing. I might need to take like a 5-minute break here. I'm starting to get my phase out of my Mario. Can only imagine how difficult the second half of this level is. Oh, thought I was gonna have it. Oh well. So I mean, like, whatever the straw that breaks the camel's back is, it's not gonna matter what it is. Is what I'm saying. I don't think it's gonna matter. I think it's gonna be party lines drawn in the sand, and it's gonna be really hard to know, because if it does break out into like civil I don't think we can even have a civil war. Like, there's just no way it would even be possible. Oh, so you need to hit the shell to go right, and then you jump in that little pit that's right there. But since I hit the Koopa the wrong way, I just had to try to make the best of it. So, mean, if I keep playing this level for the next half an hour, that's my whole time for the night. So at this point, I'm just trying to get checkpoint. I'm pretty sure I can save on the overworld, so I can save my checkpoint. Thought I heard a noise, so I figured I'd check my phone. My wife, the other day, my wife got mad at me because she said that my daughter woke up and she needed me to go check because she was in class, and I did not notice that she had called me. Does it just sit in the bottom there? I was expecting it to jump out, but if it just sits in the bottom there, I think that's okay. There's a fucking Kaizo there too, isn't there? There's no Kaizos this whole level. It's gonna be Kaizo there. Oh, I thought I was gonna make it. I got like so excited. I put my foot on the thing. So I keep my foot usually like whichever one I'm not sitting on is on the bottom level of my like desk. It's like I get like tensed up like when I think I'm gonna do something good. But yeah, I mean like that's my thing, right? So like, and that's the other part is like I think we're gearing up for a civil war, but I don't think we can even have a civil war, right? Can you even do that? Like, it would just be, at that point it would just be complete chaos because there aren't two sides. Oh, my fingers are starting to mess up. I'll probably take like a 5-minute break here in a sec. Like, I don't see this happening. I don't think we're going for, I think we're going towards something pretty dark in the next 10 to 15 years. Based on like how coronavirus goes and how like that goes, how global warming goes, like that kind of stuff, like yeah, all of that is a factor. You know, science is a factor. You know, coronavirus, you know, could be getting booster shots for 15 years and just like for 10 years, and all of a sudden, you know, there's a policy change because there's new mutation. It causes like some massive thing, you know. New details could come out about, you know, oh well, it was biogenetically engineered and it's going after these people and, you know, for this, and I don't know. Like, I find all that conspiracy theory nonsense to be ridiculous, but and there's some good points to be made in a lot of it. It's just not logical, you know. Like, one thing that I found very interesting today was that apparently a lot of it's mostly the Republican Party that does this. I'm sorry if I'm just getting too political, guys. This is on my mind tonight, and we're talking about therapy and stuff, so sorry. But one thing that I found today that was interesting was that a lot of people that are like Republican, like demonstrators, like anti-vax, people are former actors and actresses, and that was like something that was really interesting to me, because a lot of people are saying like that the Republican Party is paying people, like failed actors and actresses, money to like spout, you know, to get elected and basically share their ideals. Hit the wrong way. And so I found that very interesting. I found that out today. That was a conspiracy theory. And I typically don't subscribe to a lot of conspiracy theories, you know? Like, it's cool to think, like, that there's ghosts, and it's cool to think there's aliens, and, like, all that stuff's fun. But it's just not logical, right? Like, I don't believe there's ghosts. I believe that there's probably phenomena that we don't quite understand that can be scientifically explained, like maybe like dark matter, or like, you know, senses that we just don't understand. And so there's other things going on in certain areas of the world, or around certain people, just that we don't understand. I believe that there's alien life out there. I don't necessarily believe that it's intelligent, to the extent of coming to visit us on this planet. I think that there's probably, like, it's stupid to think that there isn't some other form of life out there. But it is. I think it's unrealistic to think that there is a form of alien. Oh shit, that was it too. There's a form of alien life that's come to visit us in a spaceship. Do I think maybe there could have been alien shit on the rocks we brought back from Mars? On the moon? Sure, maybe. Maybe like bacteria. Even if it's dead, fossilized bacteria. I mean, think about that. The moon is just a chunk of Earth, right? Oh, dude, come on. We're so close to the checkpoint. Okay, so do be scared of that at some point. I was like, I just gotta do it until it hits me. When it hits me, I'll know about it. But I mean, like, I felt like I was just like way too good on that jump. I appreciate that this is not a terrible, terrible music for a hard level. My fault. So. But I think, like, I believe in conspiracy theories that make sense, right? Like, you think 9/11 was an inside job? Sure. Like, I don't really necessarily subscribe to it, but, you know, the things that are around it make sense. Why would the US do it? Well, there's reasons. Okay, that makes sense, you know. The timing, a little suspicious. You know, with the I think there was like, I forget what it was, but there was like some government agency with like had a press conference the day before where they were like, not a press conference, but they had like a hearing or something where they're like couldn't account for like $10 billion in government spending, or $100 million, or something like that. Something stupid, some kind of stupid number, like high number. It wasn't like low. And like that, like, okay, the next day 9/11, boom. No one ever talks about the thing ever again. Like that is somewhat suspicious. But like, and like some of it makes sense. You're like, okay, well, the government wanted to get back into Iraq and Iran. Like, obviously we thought Iraq was doing this, or Afghanistan did it, but now we're in Iraq, we're in Iran, we're in Kuwait. Like, all this stuff is like, why? Why are we in all these other places? Like, some of that just makes too much sense, you know. Fuck! Just line myself up wrong. But then there's like the other stuff. It's like the government, like the vaccine kills you. Like that kind of stuff. The governments have to like thin the herd of population. It's like, that doesn't make any sense. Like, it makes zero sense. Because the political leaders aren't, like, they're telling their own constituents who voted for them to get it. And, like, why would they tell the majority of people that voted for them to get it, and then all of a sudden they're down people, right? Like, so Biden's telling everyone to get it. If everyone who voted for Biden got the vaccine and then died from it in 5 years, 4 years, 3 years, whatever, there would be no Democrats left. And then it's like a whole, like, oh, well, there's microchips in it, so they want to track you. Like, there's microchips in my cell phone. One, I don't care, because, like, I think, like, if you don't want people tracking you, then that means you're trying to hide something, right? Or you're trying to hide either something you are doing or something you might do. Right? And, like, that's the part that I don't get. It's like, I'm not doing anything suspicious. I'm not doing anything illegal. I sit at home most of the time, play my video games, track away. Also, my phone tracks me. You know, you have an Apple Watch, that should track you. You have a Fitbit, that should track you. Everything has GPS. Your car has GPS on it nowadays. I can't believe I missed it. That was like a whole finger thing. I can't believe that. I fucking can't believe it. We're gonna get checkpoint and I'm gonna be like, fuck this level, we're done for the night. Tomorrow we'll go late, but we'll probably play Axiom Verge tomorrow. Thursday I will probably finish recording Doki Doki. Play some Axiom Verge during the day. Maybe some RPG stuff. I need to get back and play some RPG stuff. Doki Doki has now become an offline game. It's just too hard. Like, it's like stuff you have to read a ton. Like, especially because I'm reading out loud. It's just really hard to like communicate with people. Like read chat or like do anything other than read it. Oh, I thought maybe we'd get it. Nope. But anyways, this has been a really therapeutic event for me, guys. I really appreciate everyone hanging out. Chit-chatting away. While we make no progress. I mean, I'm gonna feel really bad if we don't get this checkpoint and I have to stop at some point, because like then we didn't waste a stream, but like I'm not gonna put this up. If we don't get the checkpoint, I'm not putting this on YouTube. And so tomorrow we'll do Axiom Verge. Thursday night we'll definitely do some sort of RPG. I don't know what RPG yet. Something that we're already in the middle of. Maybe it's Yakuza, maybe it's Shin Megami, maybe we go back to Bravely Default. I think I'm just gonna go to easy mode on Bravely Default, or normal mode, whatever. Because I have it on hard mode and it's just so grindy, you know? And I would like to finish it because it's good. It's a good game. It's on our list of shit to play. So ugh. My problem is that when I go to like let go of a button, when I go to throw it up, I oftentimes take my finger off the jump button at the same time. Good. I think we might be done, guys. I think we might be done for the evening with this. And no progress. Which is really, really sad. fingers just aren't communicating with my body anymore. And it's a little late to take like a 5-minute break and then come back. Especially because I was trying to say earlier, like, some days when I'm going on PTO, it's like everyone's like, oh, okay, well, you're on PTO, have fun, like, see you another day. And then sometimes they're like, hey, can you make sure you get all 10 of these things done before you leave? And so I really don't know how tomorrow's gonna go in that respect. I feel like once I get past this jump, it's not too hard anymore, except for that last jump. The wreck section is a little tough. But it's more about like maneuvering. Not this versus like I cannot get this jump for the life of me successfully. See, and that one actually I held down the jump button. I held down the jump button, but I didn't actually I didn't do it until after I had art. Like I never hit the saw again after I started hanging it down. It's like a weird timing thing. Alright, this is it. It's okay, it's okay. We got there, we can do this. This is the run right here, baby, this is the run. I meant this one, this is the run. I didn't have enough momentum. I didn't have enough momentum. I don't know why. I was like, hold right and pray. Hold right and pray. That was actually a really good run, and I just totally fucked up that last jump. See, the thing is, like, I'm tired, and I probably should go to bed because my fingers hurt, and it's late. But I also feel like I'm, like, 2 or 3 runs away from, like any run could be the run. But I also know that I could spend the next 6 to 10 runs fucking up, like, this jump. Alright, is this it? I was trying to get momentum. Forgot that that was a thing. Don't know how to jump. Boom, boom, boom. Re-grabbing the run/throw button is like super key in this part. Alright, I'm gonna take a 30-second break after this Stick's death. Just to check something real quick. Have some more of my energy drink come on. Yeah, I need to go to bed, but energy drink central. Energy drink done, man. Gotta keep momentum there. I think I threw it too late. I think I've done a shell jump in like 4 or 5 weeks. Up, throw the shell up. Oh, my eyes starting to get watery. Oh, this seems tough. Oh god. Well, at least you got the checkpoint. That's all we care about. Literally all we care about. Keep hitting top thing. I just want to see what the next part is before I go to bed. Jeez. It got real quiet. Like, I do realize that I passed it as soon as I stopped talking about politics, by the way, guys. So, never again. But, I mean, like, that's the whole thing. That's the whole, like, in the human condition, we talked about that, like... Fuck. Is that something I gotta take with me? Dude, this is a sick individual who did this. This is a shitty section. Oh, yo. Ah, fuck, man. I just want to see what's on the platform, then I'm gonna go to bed. I need it, and I need to do a shell jump. That's awful. I'm hoping like that the second half of this level is like super short, and as soon as I like get past this one section with this incredibly hard jump, that it'll do it. But you know. I think this is the one where I really have to like focus on holding down. Nope. I was like, I changed my grip for a second just to see what happened. It's not what I thought it was. I thought that the baby was awake, but it's just the TV. My wife's watching TV. I would like to attempt this shell jump. I know I keep saying that, like, I want to do this next thing. Well, you know, I would like to do it. Mario got me hooked, you know. I grabbed it too. I held the wrong button. This is where, see, my brain is like Mario'd out within 90 minutes of Mario. My brain's Mario'd out. It's like not thinking clearly about jumps anymore. Like I'm like, hold down B to run. It's like, that's not how that works, man. Not how that works. Like this section probably isn't even that hard, like in the grand scheme of things. See, that time I let go of B. I threw the thing up, let go of B, didn't re-grab it. Like, if I'm letting it go, that's fine. But I gotta, like, while I'm throwing the shell. But, like, you also have to immediately re-grab it. Or else, you know. We attempted the shell jump. That's all that matters. We need to go out here. And we just continue and save. If we go back into it, it gives us that shell jump. Okay. Good. Go ahead and save again, just for shits and giggles. Alright. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really appreciate it. Is there anyone online right now? We will raid someone tonight.